You asked, how do I set boundaries with toxic loved ones? This question often comes up when someone has been hurtful, disrespectful, or somehow invasive in your life. So, the first thing I'd encourage you to do is apply Romans 12:18, which says, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. This basically means doing your part to pursue peace, but only if it is physically and emotionally safe for you to maintain that relationship. For example, I've seen situations where someone, let's say her name is Amber, would attend a family gathering at Christmas. And while there, her Aunt Sue would make repeated hurtful comments about why Amber hasn't had children, knowing full well that Amber is struggling with infertility. So Amber would end up leaving the Christmas gathering feeling devastated instead of enjoying the Christmas season. She'd literally end up spending weeks and months replaying the verbal and emotional attacks she experienced. Eventually, Christmas was no longer about Christ. It became a source of pain and robbing Amber of joy and peace she was supposed to experience. In cases like these, it's so important to set boundaries. The Bible says in Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart. Guarding your heart means recognizing relationships that lift you up and reflect the love of Christ versus the ones that tear you down. Listen, loving people does not mean subjecting yourself to toxic environments. It is okay and biblical to step away from relationships that are harmful while continuing to pray and forgive those people from a safe distance. To set boundaries, you need to remind yourself that God is not against boundaries. In fact, He created them. One of the first things He did with Adam and Eve was establish a boundary. He said they could eat from any tree except the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Boundaries, therefore, are biblical, healthy, and necessary. So if anyone tells you otherwise, you can just dismiss that idea. When faced with situations like being invited to a dinner or an event where you know it's going to harm you emotionally, spiritually, or even physically in the long run, you have permission to say no. For instance, if you're invited to Christmas dinner but know it's going to be toxic, a toxic environment, rather than stew on it for a few days and feel bad about having to say no, stop yourself and remember, you can politely decline by saying, thank you for the invitation, but we've decided to do our own family dinner this year. And my friend, remember, no is a complete sentence. If someone gets upset because you've said no, it's likely a sign that they don't respect your boundaries to begin with. And after you say no, don't let guilt take over. Stand firm knowing that it is completely okay to protect your peace and emotional well-being. If it's a situation where someone wants to come to your home instead, you can kindly just say something like, that's not going to work for us, or we've decided to keep it simple this year. The key is to communicate your boundaries clearly without over explaining or apologizing for it. By doing so, you're honoring both your needs and your call to live in truth and love. If you have a mental health question that you'd like answered, feel free to go on my website at www.kenzahaddock.com, scroll to the middle of the page and submit it anonymously, and I'll try to answer it in the next couple of weeks. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.